This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
On the news this morning, House of Reps pushing to make appeal court final judge in governorship election disputes. EFCC warns ADC against politicizing corruption cases. NBA condemns Ibom Air's treatment of passenger, demands probe. Nigeria Info's I beg to differ debate continues. On the foreign scene, Hamas leader visits Cairo in bid to salvage ceasefire talks. Mental health is real. Seek help. End the stigma. I am Ifiemi Andrew. A member of the House of Representatives, Bayo Balogun, says the Green Chamber is advancing a bill seeking to amend the 1999 Constitution to make the Court of Appeal the final arbiter on governorship election petitions in Nigeria. Balogun, the chairman of the House Committee on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, stated this in an interview. He said one advantage of that provision is that while the state and national assembly are in the tribunal, then the presidential and governorship will be at the appeal court. He said this is so that by the time they are moving from the appeal to the Supreme Court, one of the state and national assembly will now be going to the appeal court. He said the House is trying to reduce the tribunal period to 90 days and the appeal to 50 days. In another development, the chairman of South Development Commission and former deputy speaker of the House of Representatives, Prince Chibudom Uche, has dismissed an open letter written by some stakeholders in Rivers State over the conduct of the August 30 local government election as an act of selfishness. Uche, who is also a lawyer, argued that the claims by the authors of the letter had been invalidated by President Bola Tinubu through the issuing of regulations to facilitate the conduct of local government elections. He said the intervention of President Tinubu is aimed at returning Rivers State to democratic governance.
Indeed, the President Bola Tinubu has done very well in enacting regulations that guided and streamlined this process and that bridged the time within which elections were to be held in order not to throw a third tier of government into anarchy. As you all know, by our Constitution, the President has the powers under emergency rule to make regulations for the conduct of elections, and these powers he has exercised in the case of Rivers State. Naturally, people would complain, but these who are complaining are doing so from the point of view of their selfish interests.
The South Development Commission chairman also commended political parties who have fielded candidates for the election and have concluded their party primaries.
I urge the candidates who have emerged to conduct their campaigns in a peaceful atmosphere and urge the masses to turn out en masse to elect persons of their choice come August 30th, 2025.
Uche called on Rivers people to vote for candidates of their choice in the August 30 local government election. Meanwhile, the EFCC has hit back at the African Democratic Congress ADC over criticism of its handling of cases involving top political figures. In a statement, the EFCC said it was shocked by what it called an unprovoked attack from the party, describing it as unnecessary and blame shifting. EFCC Chairman Ola Olukoyode accused the ADC of trying to politicize ongoing corruption cases and protect certain politicians from facing justice. Reacting to the ADC's claims that recent EFCC summons to some opposition members were politically motivated and based on old cases, Olukoyode dismissed the accusations as self-serving and aimed at defending people with serious corruption questions to answer. Moving on. The Inspector General of Police, IGP, Kayode Egbetokun, has returned the petition of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, against Fuji singer Wasiu Ayinde, also known as Kwam 1, to the police command at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja. Force spokesman Muyiwa Adejobi, in a statement on Tuesday, confirmed the receipt of the petition against the singer who tried to block a moving value jet aircraft on the 5th of August at the Abuja airport. The singer's action attracted widespread condemnation, with many calling for his arrest and prosecution. The NCAA slammed a 6-month ban on the singer. Though Kwamwan released an apology video over the weekend, the remand of an unruly Ibom Air passenger, Comfort Emerson, in the Kirikiri Correctional Center, Lagos, has started conversations about selective justice, with many calling for the instant prosecution of Kwamwan. In the meantime, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority has called on passengers aboard the Ibom Air Uyo-Lagos flight during last Sunday's incident to provide first-hand accounts to aid its investigation. In a post via its official X handle on Tuesday, NCAA's spokesperson Mike Achimogu urged anyone who witnessed the event leading to the fracas to contact him via direct message or email. He stressed that while the unruly behavior witnessed on the flight would not be excused, the authority was determined to ensure that every other person who was culpable is held accountable. Still on this, the Nigerian Bar Association has promised to provide free legal service to the Ibom Air passenger who is now being tried for unruly behavior. In a statement signed by NBA President Afam Osigwe and General Secretary Dr. Mobolaji Ojibarak, called on management of the airline to withdraw the lifetime flight ban placed on the passenger. The association described the actions of the airline staff as degrading, unlawful, and a violation of Emerson's dignity and privacy. The NBA said a public apology must be issued to the passenger and the prosecution of those who filmed and circulated indecent footage of the incident. The incident comes amid recent cases of alleged unruly behavior by airline passengers. Aviation consultant Mr. Chris Aligbe says it is mandatory for airline passengers to switch off their mobile phones during takeoff and landing. Mr. Aligbe made the remark in an interview with correspondent Oyeka Chiwonsu while reacting to the reported unruly behavior of the Ibom Air passenger Comfort Emerson, who allegedly placed her phone on flight mode instead of turning it off in compliance with the air hostess's instruction. The aviation expert explained that it is dangerous for phones to remain in flight mode during takeoff or landing.
Instructions by the cabin crew should be taken as a rule, because when they say switch off your phone can interfere with the communication equipment of the aircraft and endanger the life of all the people. They tell you you don't use your laptop, you don't do anything, not even on flight mode, when the aircraft is taking off. You can put your phone on flight mode after the takeoff. Taking off and landing are very dangerous situations. You see, all crashes happen either on takeoff or on landing. So, during takeoff, during landing, switch off your phone for that period. After that, you can put it on flight mode.
He said regulatory agencies take such issues seriously out of safety concerns. He urged Nigerians to await the outcome of the Ministry of Aviation's investigation into the incident.
If there's interference with signal, you are endangering the life of everybody in that aircraft. I'm happy the minister is investigating that case. And so the airlines also feel threatened when if somebody is an inadmissible passenger, that person has done something that they consider injurious or a threat to the safety or security of air travel passengers.
Mr. Aligbe, a former general manager public affairs of the defunct Nigeria Airways, said regulatory agencies and airlines have done so much in educating passengers about aviation safety rules and regulations.
NCAA is on education of passengers on their rights, on their obligations, and what NCAA does. They've invested training. They've done road shows to educate passengers. Airlines are enjoying to also inform passengers of their rights.
Still to come, Nigeria Info's I Beg to Differ debate continues today. Stay tuned.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
The Nigeria Info FM radio debate tournament for teens, I Beg to Differ, continued yesterday, featuring two engaging debate sessions. The first session saw 15-year-old Chikwere Masi Ruth of Government Secondary School, Tungamaji Leg, Abuja, arguing in favor of the motion euthanasia could be legalized in Nigeria. She described euthanasia as a cost-effective alternative to prolonged suffering, noting that many Nigerians with long-term illnesses are driven into poverty.
Look at India. They have similar healthcare challenges, but they perform 3 times more legal euthanasia than Canada. You said life is sacred and only God should decide that. By that logic, we should ban chemotherapy because all medical intervention plays God, right? You say our culture rejects this. Our culture once rejected cesarean section and IVF. Progress means updating traditions even though they cause harm. You said the poor are the target. Yes, we know the poor are the target. They are the ones dying in pain without painkillers. You suggest we should improve palliative care instead. That's a great idea. But why we wait 20 years to build those shattered and broken system? What should be the fate of our today's screaming patient? Should they just suffer? Euthanasia is the emergency brake while we fix the car.
Our opponent, 16-year-old Esther Joseph of Hisak Academy, Lagos, opposed the motion, warning that legalizing euthanasia could lead to abuse. She argued that what Nigeria needs instead is better palliative care.
Families are more traumatized when they remember that they took part in the decision-making of a loved one. They should kill the pain, not the patient. This is the question at the heart of this debate. Is this a path a just and caring nation should take? My opponent has offered them a vision of compassion, but it is a cheap and dangerous compassion. It is the compassion of giving up. It is the compassion that says when a person is suffering, when they are vulnerable, when they are a burden, the solution is not to care for them, but to eliminate them. And in a nation like ours, with economic pressure and a palliative system that is tragically underfunded and inaccessible to most, a right to die will inevitably become a duty to die. It's a death sentence delivered by poverty, not by choice.
The judges declared Esther Joseph the winner of the debate with 97 points, while Chikwere Masi Ruth scored 94.5 points. In the second session, debaters argued the motion, reverting to the original system of government, is a solution to Nigeria's insecurity. Speaking in favor, 15-year-old Anthony Damilola of Government Science Secondary School, Piakasa, Maitama, Abuja, said centralization overwhelms security forces and that insecurity should be addressed according to each region's dynamics.
First, centralization overwhelms the Nigerian security forces. Do you know that Nigerian security forces are dangerously overstaffed? How do you want to trust your security to people that are overburdened? To the banditry attacks of the Middle Belt? To herdsmen? Everything share a local dynamic. But even Abuja that shares a centralized perspective has not been able to give you a safe choice. Decentralization improves innovation. What of tailored responses from the government? It gives you quicker response time. That is the difference between life and death, and it's always very important.
Opposing the motion, 14-year-old Olajolo Akinloluwa of Wellspring College, Lagos, said such a change would weaken national cohesion. It's costly to implement and could silence the voices of minority ethnic groups.
The Nigerian National Security Tracker also reports 50,000 deaths in the last decade due to transborder actors. So even if we change it to regional borders without fixing our capabilities, we're leaving Nigeria just as exposed as it was. We already have local intelligence, but Zamfara, Plateau, and Katsina are still the most unprotected states in Nigeria. Why? Because local intelligence without a national framework is intelligence in a vacuum. Criminals are adapting faster than local units can even fathom. Regionalism has already failed historically. Why do we want to revert to a system that failed on its own ethnic tension while we can reform our federalism?
Olajolo Akinloluwa was declared the winner of the round with 100 points, while Anthony Damilola scored 89 points. The tournament continues today from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Nigeria Info FM. Away from that, the Nigerian Union of Pensioners in Rivers State is urging all retirees in the state civil service to take part in the verification exercise scheduled to begin on Thursday, August 14, 2025. State Secretary of the Union, Dr. Joseph Agbo, told correspondent Emeka Otuka that the reminder follows reports advising pensioners to boycott the process. Agbo stressed that the verification is in the best interest of pensioners, as it will enable them to benefit from the new minimum pension increase recently approved by the sole administrator.
I'm begging pensioners to set aside what Lily West has said. So please listen to the sole administrator of Rivers State, who have decided to take time and ensure that pensioners of the state are captured for the benefit of payment of their monthly pension. Therefore, every pensioner should go and queue wherever is being designated for him to take the verification exercise. And in case he did not have the necessary paper to help and see how the situation will actually be actualized, gather your papers, ID card, and BVN, and your passport photograph, and come to the venue.
Our correspondent reports that the exercise organized by the Office of the Head of Service will run for 5 days. The entire Executive and Central Working Committee of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW, Oyigbo Main Branch, says Boma Tom George will still remain as state chairman of the union. In a statement signed by Oyigbo chairman of NURTW, Philip Ogbuji, the union said it took the decision after due consultation. The Oyigbo branch of the NURTW said it regrets any inconveniences its previous announcement may have caused the state chairman, Boma Tom George, and the general public. It pledged to continue to work with the state chairman, Boma Tom George. The legal team of Dr. Colonel Eke says the issue of ownership of the Agbada Isilaru land situated at the new airport road in Obiakpo local government area of Rivers State has been determined by the Choba Customary Court in favor of Dr. Colonel Eke and family. A statement by the head media and publicity, Mr. Precious DK, said all those speculating malicious propaganda against the judgment are doing so to deny their clients the fruits of the judgment and forcefully grab the land, which is the legitimate inheritance of his family. According to the statement, the judiciary, being the last hope of the common man, rose to the occasion by discharging and acquitting Dr. Colonel Eke in charge number PMC/318C/2025 over the trump-up charges in a considered ruling delivered on July 1, 2025. It urged the general public to disregard all malicious misrepresentation peddled by the said some individuals from Rumosi community and their cohorts and relate with Dr. Colonel Eke and his family as the genuine and authentic owners of the parcel of land.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
Eyewitnesses and medics say Israeli planes and tanks kept bombarding eastern areas of Gaza City overnight, killing at least 11 people. It comes as Hamas leader Khalil al-Hayya arrives in Cairo for talks to revive a US-backed ceasefire plan. The latest round of incident talks in Qatar ended in deadlock in late July, with Israel and Palestinian militant group Hamas trading blame over the attack of progress on a U.S. proposal for a 60-day truce and hostage release deal. Hamas, in a statement, said the meetings with Egyptian officials scheduled to begin today will focus on ways to stop the war, deliver aid, and end the suffering of the people in Gaza.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
On the news this morning, you heard that the House of Reps is pushing to make the appeal court the final judge in governorship election disputes. The EFCC has warned the ADC against politicizing corruption cases. The NBA has condemned Ibom Air's treatment of passenger and is demanding a probe. Nigeria Info's I Beg to Differ debate continues today. On the foreign scene, Hamas leader has visited Cairo, Egypt, in a bid to salvage ceasefire talks. The news was edited by Martha Okere. My name is Ifiemi Andrew. Thank you for your time. Good morning.